everybody! It's Leif Erikson Day! Hinga-dinga-durgan!
Smashing Saxons!
Hello and welcome to the news at When. When, the Saxon era, when Britain was being shaped by invaders from mainland Europe. To find out more, we go over now to Bob Hale with the Anglo-Saxon report. Bob.
Thank you, Sam. Well, it's 400 AD, that right there is Britain, and here comes the king in a bedsheet. Ha-ha, no, not really. It's a Roman emperor, because Britain is under Roman rule, just as it has been for more than 350 years. But all that is about to change, because in the year 410, the unthinkable happens. So unthinkable, in fact, that I can't think of it. What was it now? Ooh. Oh, I know. The Roman Empire crumbles, and the Romans leave Britain with the immortal line, "Don't forget to put the cat out." Something like that. And that's when the problems really start. With the Romans gone, the Picts from up in Scotland decide to invade England. So the King of the Britons, Vortigern, hires a load of warriors from Denmark and Germany, places over there, to help him fight off the Picts. And amongst these warriors are two chaps called Hengist and Horsa, who decided they liked Britain so much, they'd quite like to keep some of it. Luckily, Hengist has a very beautiful daughter. So in one of the weirdest deals in the whole of history, he offers King Vortigern his daughter's hand in marriage in return for Kent. Yep, Kent. And that's just the start of it. Soon, seeing how easy it is to get your hands on English lands, there are Danes and Germans everywhere. Invaders from the German district of Anglo take over the Midlands and the North. Meanwhile, invaders from Saxony take over huge chunks of the South. Yes, England gets overrun with Angles and Saxons, making it officially Anglo-Saxon. And you thought we just made that term up. So, there we have it. That's that. End of the story, end of the line, end of the pier, last dance, last chance, lights off, cats out, done. But not for long. Under Anglo-Saxon rule, Britain changes shape entirely, although obviously not around the edges. Inside, though, it all changes. The Anglo-Saxon invaders shape their newly won lands into 7 major kingdoms, called Wessex and Essex and Sussex and so on. But it's not all plain sailing for the Anglo-Saxons. Oh no, despite their best efforts, they can't conquer Scotland for toffee, which is a shame as Scotland's got great toffee. While the other unconquered kingdoms, over here in the west, aren't exactly thrilled about the new neighbours. In fact, relations get so bad that King Offa of Mercia, an Anglo-Saxon kingdom shown here in puce, whatever colour that is, builds a giant ditch cutting off the west of Britain from the rest of Britain, creating the border of what we now call Wales. So there we have it. Scotland, Wales, Anglo-Saxon England, all sitting side by side in perfect harmony, bar a little name-calling and the odd local war. But not for long. Yes, it's 865 and lock up your monasteries because here come the Vikings. In no time, they take over every major Anglo-Saxon kingdom except for this one, Wessex, home of Alfred the Great, who clearly has a high opinion of himself. And for good reason, because Alfie and his family actually managed to hold back the Vikings. But not for long! Well, actually, it's for quite a while, but that's not the point. No, eventually Ethelred the Unready becomes king and gets so sick of the constant Viking attacks that he's presumably never ready for, that he decides to kill every single Viking living in England, including the King of Norway's sister, which, unsurprisingly, doesn't go down too well with the King of Norway, who promptly invades England, takes Ethelred's crown, and becomes the first in a line of Viking kings. There's Canute, there's Arthur Canute, there's a quarter of a Canute, except not the last one, until in 1042, an Englishman gets the throne again, except with the Confessor. Hooray! And he then goes and dies. Boo! And 3 different people start fighting over who should replace him. There's an Englishman, a Norman, and a Viking, which sounds like the start of a joke, but it really isn't. Especially for the Englishman, Harold Godwinson, who takes the crown and is immediately set upon by the other 2. And while he's busy fighting off the Viking one, up here, the Norman one, a certain William the Conqueror, attacks down there. Yes, it's 1066, the Battle of Hastings, which signals not only the end of Harold, but also the end of the Anglo-Saxon England altogether. The end of the pier show, the end of the line, the end of the road, the end of the world we know it. And unless I calm down seriously in the next few seconds, it might well be the end of dear old Bob T. Oh, it's too late! Ah! Ugh. My mistake, it's just heartburn. It's just heartburn. Back to you, Sam.
The History of English in 10 minutes. Chapter 1, Anglo-Saxon, or whatever happened to the Jutes. The English language begins with the phrase, "Up yours, Caesar," as the Romans leave Britain, and a lot of Germanic tribes start flooding in. Tribes such as the Angles and the Saxons, who together gave us the term Anglo-Saxon, and the Jutes, who didn't. The Romans left some very straight roads behind, but not much of their Latin language. The Anglo-Saxon vocab was much more useful, as it was mainly words for simple, everyday things like house, woman, loaf, and werewolf. 4 of our days of the week were named in honour of Anglo-Saxon gods. They didn't bother with Saturday, Sunday and Monday, as they'd all gone off for a long weekend. While they were away, Christian missionaries stole in, bringing with them leaflets about jumble sales and more Latin. Christianity was a hit with the locals and made them much happy to take on funky new words from Latin like martyr, bishop and font. along came the Vikings, with their action man words like drag, ransack, thrust and die. They may have raped and pillaged, but they were also into give and take, two of around 2,000 words they gave English, as well as the phrase, watch out for that man with the enormous axe.
It's all Logan now.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on.